When it comes to American coins that have captured the hearts of collectors and treasure hunters, the Washington quarter dollar stands out as a true icon. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, this coin has seen decades of circulation, countless design changes, and an incredible range of valuable rarities. While most quarters are worth only face value, certain years and era varieties have shocked the coin world by selling for hundreds, thousands, or even over $50,000 at auctions. Today, we're diving deep into the 1980, 1985, and 1997 Washington quarters that could be hiding big money. First up, 1980 Washington quarter dollar coin. When you hear 1980 quarter, most people think of pocket change that buys a piece of gum, but collectors know the real story. It can actually be worth a lot of money. The 1980 Washington quarter isn't just another coin from the Reagan-era 80s. It's one of those hidden gems in U.S. coinage that continues to surprise collectors and sellers with its true value. So before you spend on a vending machine soda, let's dig into why this coin might just be your ticket to some serious cash. The Washington quarter was struck at 3 different mints in 1980. Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Now, here's where things get exciting. While the majority of these coins were struck in the billions for circulation, meaning tons of them are floating around, only a select few stand out as rare, valuable, and collectible. For example, high-grade 1980 quarters, those that look crisp and untouched, can sell for far more than face value. In fact, some pristine mint-state examples have brought in over $3,000 at auction. But that's just the beginning. What really makes the 1980 Washington quarter fascinating are the errors and varieties. Error coins are like lottery tickets for collectors. You never know when you'll stumble upon one, and when you do, it could be worth a fortune. One of the most famous errors from 1980 quarters is the off-center strike. Imagine your coin's design being pushed off to the side so much that part of Washington's face or the eagle on the back is cut off. Depending on how dramatic the off-center error is, these coins can sell for anywhere between $100 to $1,500. The more extreme the misalignment, the higher the value. Then there's the double die obverse error, where Washington's profile or the lettering looks doubled. These are rare, but when spotted, collectors pay serious money. Some have been reported selling for over $2,000. And let's not forget the clipped planchet errors, where the coin's edge looks like someone took a bite out of it. Those quirky mistakes can easily sell for $50 to $300. The San Francisco Mint adds another layer of rarity because it produced proof coins in 1980. Proofs are specially made for collectors, with shiny mirror-like fields and frosty designs. Now, while most 1980 S-proof quarters aren't extremely rare, they're high-grade versions, especially those graded as PR70, perfect condition, can be worth hundreds of dollars. The most desirable ones even cross into the thousands if they have special cameo contrasts. But let's not overlook the grading game. Collectors live and breathe by coin grades, and that's where huge money is often found. A regular circulated 1980 quarter might just be worth 25 cents, but once you start moving into mint state 65 or higher, you're talking big money. For instance, a 1980 D Washington quarter graded MS 67 once sold for more than $1,900 at auction. Why? Because out of the millions struck, hardly any survived in that flawless condition. Scarcity meets demand, and that's the formula for high prices in coin collecting. And the fun part? These treasures are still out there. People find them in pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, or in old jars sitting on the shelf. Imagine turning a 25-cent coin into a car payment, or better yet, a vacation fund. That's the thrill collectors chase. If we dive deeper into the auction scene, the numbers get jaw-dropping. The highest recorded prices for 1980 quarters are not just a few $100s, but several thousand. For example, an MS67 Plus graded 1980 P Washington quarter sold for nearly $3,600. That's mind-blowing considering it started life as just pocket change. What really makes the 1980 quarter special is its bridge between the earlier silver Washington quarters and the modern clad designs. By 1980, quarters were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, which isn't nearly as glamorous as the old 90% silver quarters from before 1965. Yet despite being clad, these 1980 quarters prove that value isn't just in the metal. It's in rarity, condition, and collector demand. So if you got a 1980 quarter in your hand, don't dismiss it just yet. Flip it, study it, and maybe even get it graded if it looks particularly sharp. Who knows? That little coin could be hiding a price tag of hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And here's one last thing. Collectors love complete sets. A collector trying to complete a Washington quarter set with every year, mint, and variety will happily pay top dollar for the rarest, best-preserved 1980 examples. That constant demand keeps value strong. To sum it up in casual terms, the 1980 Washington quarter is like the sleeper hit of the coin world. It's not flashy at first glance, but under the right circumstances, high grade, proof condition, or error variety, it can turn from pocket change into big money. And the best part? These coins are still out there in circulation, waiting for sharp-eyed collectors to scoop them up. So the next time you grab a handful of change, take a second look at that 1980 quarter. You just might be holding on to a hidden jackpot. Next up, 1985 Washington quarter dollar coin. If you thought the 1980 Washington quarter was interesting, wait until we talk about the 1985 edition. At first glance, the 1985 quarter looks like just another piece of everyday pocket change. But collectors know that this coin can be worth way more than 25 cents. Whether it's high-grade mint-state examples, special proof issues, or wild mint errors, the 1985 Washington quarter has proven time and time again that it can surprise even the most seasoned coin hunters with huge values. Let's break it down. The U.S. Mint produced 1985 quarters at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco. While the Philly and Denver coins were intended for circulation, San Francisco struck proof coins for collectors. And although billions were made, only a handful of coins survived in pristine condition, and that's where the real money lies. Let's start with the Philadelphia Mint. The 1985 P. Washington quarter is one of those coins where condition makes all the difference. In circulated grades, it's basically worth face value. But in high mint state grades, especially MS-67 and above, values skyrocket. For example, one MS-67 example sold for over $1,500 at auction. Why? Because coins that sharp, with no scratches, bag marks, or dull luster, are incredibly rare considering how many were minted and used in circulation. Then there's the Denver Mint. The 1985 D. Washington quarter has its own story. Like the Philly coins, most are only worth 25 cents, but the top-graded examples are pure treasure. A 1985 D quarter graded MS-67 Plus by PCGS once fetched nearly $2,000 at auction. Imagine finding one in your pocket change and flipping it for thousands. That's what makes coin collecting such an exciting hunt. Now let's move to San Francisco, the home of proof coins. The 1985 S-proof Washington quarter is absolutely stunning compared to its circulation cousins. Proofs were struck with polished dies and specially prepared planchets, giving them that deep mirror-like background and frosty design. Collectors love these coins, especially when they're graded PR 70 Deep Cameo, DCM, the absolute pinnacle of perfection. And believe it or not, some of these flawless proof quarters have sold for $600 to $1,000. Not bad for a coin that was never meant to circulate. But what really makes the 1985 quarter exciting are the mint errors. Errors are like winning the lottery for coin collectors. They're unpredictable, rare, and can sell for jaw-dropping prices. Some of the most valuable 1985 quarter errors include off-center strikes. If the design is noticeably shifted, these can sell for $100 to $500, depending on how dramatic the error is. Double die obverse. When Washington's face, lettering, or motto shows doubling, collectors jump on them, sometimes paying $1,000 plus for a strong example. Clipped planchet errors. Coins missing a portion of their rim can bring in $50 to $300. Broad strikes without a collar. These coins look stretched out and can easily sell for $200 to $400. And here's where the thrill kicks in. Most of these errors are still out there, hiding in jars, old change drawers, or coin rolls from the bank. Every collector dreams of finding that misstruck quarter worth hundreds or even thousands. Auction records back up just how hot the 1985 Washington quarter market can get. For example, in 1985, P graded MS 67 Plus has crossed the auction block for over $1,500. Meanwhile, proof examples with a flawless deep cameo finish have reached four figures. And when you factor in rare mint errors, some individual coins have sold for even more than $2,000. What's incredible is how a coin most people dismiss as just change becomes a key part of coin collections. The demand for top-quality Washington quarters is always strong, especially since collectors often try to complete year-by-year sets. When demand is strong and supply is low, like with high-grade or error 1985 quarters, the prices go through the roof. Another angle that adds to the value is history. The mid-1980s was a vibrant time in American culture. Think neon lights, arcade games, Michael Jackson, and classic Hollywood films. The 1985 quarter carries that nostalgia. It's more than a coin. It's a piece of 1980s America. Collectors love coins that connect to an era, and the 1985 Washington quarter certainly does. And here's one tip for spotting value. Always check the mint luster and strike. Quarters from 1985 that still shine like the day they left the mint, with sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, are the ones that can bring in the big bucks. If you've got one that looks nearly flawless, it may be worth sending off to get professionally graded. That small step could turn a coin worth 25 cents into one worth hundreds or even thousands. To put it simply, the 1985 Washington $quarter coin is a sleeper hit in the coin world. Sure, billions were minted, but the gems, those rare high grades, proofs, and errors, are where collectors strike gold. And those gems can sell for life-changing amounts of money compared to face value. So if you've got an old stash of change, don't ignore the 1985 quarters, because hiding among the common coins could be a rare error or a mint state beauty that's worth thousands. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know when pocket change might turn into payday. In summary, the 1985 Washington quarter isn't just pocket change. It's a coin that holds serious value potential, whether through pristine mint state grades, dazzling proofs, or fascinating mint errors. And every year, collectors continue to pay big money for them. That's why this little coin deserves more attention. It's not just 25 cents, it could be your hidden jackpot. Next up, 1997 Washington $quarter coin. By the late 1990s, most people thought of Washington quarters as nothing more than everyday change you tossed into a parking meter. But here's the truth collectors know. The 1997 Washington quarter can be worth way more than face value. In fact, this coin holds a special place because it was one of the last regular Washington quarters before the 50-state quarters program launched in 1999. That makes 1997 not only collectible, but also historically important. And when you add in the factors of rare high-grade examples, proof coins, and dramatic mint errors, the 1997 Washington quarter becomes a surprisingly valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the basics. In 1997, quarters were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The Philly and Denver coins were struck for circulation, while San Francisco made special proof coins for collectors. Billions of these coins were minted, but only a small fraction exist today in gem condition. And that scarcity is exactly why they can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Take the 1997 P. Washington quarter, for example. In circulated condition, it's basically worth 25 cents. But the story changes completely when you look at high grades. Collectors prize coins graded MS 67 and higher, and those top-end examples have sold for impressive amounts at auction. In fact, a 1997 P quarter graded MS 67 Plus by PCGS once sold for over $2,500. That's right. A simple quarter turned into thousands just because it was nearly flawless. The 1997 D. Washington quarter has an equally exciting story. While most examples are still pocket change, the top-graded ones fetch jaw-dropping prices. An MS-68 grade, which is nearly perfect, is so rare that collectors are willing to pay serious money for it. Some have crossed the auction block for $1,800 to $2,200. That's not small change. That's big money for a modern quarter. Now let's talk about the San Francisco proof coins. The 1997 S-proof Washington quarter is where eye appeal really shines. These coins were struck with polished dies, giving them that gorgeous mirror-like finish. Proof's graded PR 70 deep cameo decim are the pinnacle, absolutely flawless, with deep contrast between the frosted design and shiny background. And believe it or not, collectors have paid $500 to $1,000 for these perfect proof beauties. Considering they were sold originally in collector sets, that's a major payoff if you've kept them safe over the years. But what truly drives excitement are the mint errors and varieties. For 1997 quarters, some of the most valuable include off-center strikes. When the design is shifted dramatically, these can sell for $150 to $700 depending on how much of the design is missing. Double die obverse/reverse. If Washington's profile, lettering, or the eagle shows doubling, collectors go crazy for them. Prices can exceed $1,000. Clipped planchet errors. These quirky bite mark coins bring in $50 to $300. Broad strikes and partial collar errors. These unusual mint mistakes make coins look stretched or oddly shaped, and they can easily sell for $200 to $500. Every one of these errors transforms a common 1997 quarter into a collector's prize worth many times its face value. And the best part? They're still out there, waiting to be discovered in old change jars, bank rolls, or inherited collections. One of the coolest things about the 1997 Washington quarter is its place in history. Just 2 years later, in 1999, the U.S. Mint kicked off the wildly popular 50-state quarters program. That means 1997 was one of the very last years of the classic Washington quarter design with the eagle on the reverse. Because of that, collectors often see 1997 quarters as the end of an era, giving them added historical value. Auction houses have proven just how serious the market is for these coins. A high-grade 1997 P in MS-68 condition has reached over $3,000. The same goes for proof coins graded PR 70 DCM, which regularly cross the $1,000 mark. And when you mix in dramatic mint errors, prices have been known to climb even higher. It's a perfect storm of rarity, demand, and collector passion. What's also important is the demand for registry sets. Collectors who compete to build the finest complete sets of Washington quarters need these top-grade 1997 examples. And when multiple collectors are competing for just one or two surviving MS-68 coins, the prices skyrocket. That's exactly why you see modern clad quarters fetching thousands. It's all about supply and demand. If you're wondering how to spot a valuable 1997 quarter, here are a few tips. 1. Check the condition. If it looks nearly flawless with strong luster and sharp detail, it could be worth grading. 2. Look for errors. Off-center strikes, doubling, or odd shapes can mean serious money. 3. Don't ignore proofs. If you have a 1997 S-proof quarter in perfect condition, it could be worth hundreds. 4. Consider grading. Professional grading turns potential into real value, especially for coins that might fetch thousands at auction. At the end of the day, the 1997 Washington quarter isn't just another 25-cent coin. It's a collectible piece of U.S. history that can be worth hundreds, even thousands, depending on its condition and uniqueness. It marks the end of an era before the state quarters revolutionized American coin collecting, and that alone gives it a special place in numismatic history. So the next time you're going through your change, don't underestimate the power of a 1997 quarter, because tucked away in your pocket could be a rare gem that's worth way more than its face value. A coin that collectors would pay big money for. That's the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary coins with extraordinary value.